Konnichiwa! Welcome back to Mandy Loves Japan. Today we're off on an exciting road trip through beautiful Fukushima Prefecture. Join us as we explore the city of Aizu Wakamatsu and uncover some beautiful spots along the way. This morning we loaded up and headed west from our seaside home in Minamisoma, aiming for the historical city of Aizu Wakamatsu. Located about 130 kilometers away, but separated from the coast by two mountain ranges, it takes approximately 3 hours by car. The roads are winding and narrow, and as we discovered, a favorite place for motorbike clubs to cruise. With beautiful weather and amazing scenery, we are prepared for an interesting drive. Leaving home, we traveled westward, watching the scenery change from city to countryside. The closer we got to the mountains, the more rural the landscape became. These mountains are quite rugged, and we discover several spots where the road takes us through long tunnels instead of over them. These mountains are full of hiking trails, catering to everyone from beginners to experienced adventurers seeking a challenge. Farmers take advantage of the pure mountain water to prepare their rice fields for planting. We could feel the fresh mountain air cooling as the altitude rose. Rolling rice fields, traditional Japanese farmhouses, and breathtaking natural landscapes filled our view. As we approached the Abakuma Mountains, we enjoyed the lush green forests and beautiful wildflowers, showing spring has well and truly arrived. The distinctive colour of wisteria blossoms is scattered throughout the forest, and every now and then we catch a hint of their rich scent. The crystal clear mountain streams rush with water from melting snow pockets, while ancient boulders jut out of the rugged terrain. Tiny villages nestled amidst the countryside add a touch of charm. Driving in Japan is quite different to our experiences of driving in Australia. Even the narrowest of Australian roads appear spacious in comparison to the winding lanes we encounter here. Mountain roads in particular require constant attention. While they make for an exciting drive, we must constantly be aware of the surroundings. Yes, believe it or not, this is a 2-lane road. Sharp, blind corners often have convex mirrors to help with visibility, but trusting in these mirrors can be a challenge. About an hour into our journey, we unexpectedly found ourselves in the middle of heavy traffic, forcing us to slow down to a crawl. To our surprise, we'd stumbled upon Ebisu Circuit in Nihon Matsu. Motorsport enthusiasts from across Japan and around the world flock to this renowned racetrack, which boasts 7 tracks and 2 skid pads. This is one of the spots that we're very keen to experience, as we love doing motorsport, so it was fun to have our first peek when it wasn't expected. Arriving in Aizu Wakamatsu, we head straight for Tsuruga Castle. You can easily see why this castle was so successful in protecting its people. The castle has stood in this place for centuries as a symbol of power and resilience. The daimyo of feudal Japan understood the importance of fortifying their domains, and a large castle was a multifaceted approach to that. Firstly, Japanese castles are very impressive to look at, and a visual representation of wealth and power. They were strategically positioned on high ground, and the main keep was several stories high. They included numerous lookout points, both along the external walls and within the main castle tower. Castles also provided fortified residences for the lords, their families, and their warriors. Tsuruga Castle's story begins in 1384, when the daimyo of the Aizu region, Ashina Naomori, ordered its construction. Over the next several hundred years, the castle underwent expansions and renovations, evolving into a formidable stronghold that would shape the fate of the area of Aizu. During the late 16th century, control of Tsuruga Castle was awarded to the Date clan. Date Masamune, the renowned daimyo who founded the city of Sendai, further fortified the castle, making it a stronghold that became famous during the Boshin War of 1868. The Aizu domain faced attacks from imperial forces who wanted to restore power to the emperor. For a month, the Aizu forces held off the attack, but ultimately the castle fell and imperial forces were victorious. The severely damaged structure was demolished only a few years later. In 1934, Tsuruga Castle was declared a National Historic Site, and restoration efforts began in 1965. Skilled artisans and craftsmen meticulously reconstructed the main keep, employing ancient construction techniques to honour tradition. The castle grounds that exist today are only a fraction of the size of the original fortress, as much of the area was sold off to private owners. Most of the area inside the inner moat has been preserved. Visitors can enjoy the beautiful gardens and walk around the castle, appreciating its size and beauty. 1,000 cherry blossom trees bloom at the beginning of spring, and Tsuruga Castle has been designated one of the top 100 cherry blossom viewing spots in Japan. Beautiful trees and flowers show the changing of the seasons throughout the year, and locals tell me that the colours of the leaves in autumn, with the white castle behind, make a particularly beautiful view. Unfortunately, filming is prohibited inside the castle, which has been converted into a museum showcasing Aizu's famous samurai history. The museum brings this history to life through a fascinating collection of swords, helmets, and armour, combined with videos, audios, and interactive exhibits. At the foot of the castle, a large lawn once held the residences of samurai, lords, and government officials. Dating back to the 1500s, the Rinkaku tea rooms are a beautiful example of Japanese-style tea houses. The gardens that surround them are carefully constructed to create a calming feeling as you walk through. Near the original structure are many outdoor tables where you can order traditional matcha and appreciate the gardens while sipping your tea. Our journey continued to an equally significant yet solemn location, Moriyama. Just 4 kilometers from the castle, this mountain boasts stunning natural scenery, but it's at the top of its 183-step staircase that we find the reason so many people visit. An escalator is available for 250 yen, but I decided to walk off my lunch. Trekking up the many flights of stairs to the observation level is absolutely worth the effort, as you can appreciate a 360-degree view of Aizu City below. At the top, we encountered the graves of the 19 Byakutai. These young trainee samurai hold a special place in Japan's history. These boys, of just 16 and 17 years old, were part of the defense forces during the Boshin War. At one point during the 1-month siege on Aizu Castle, they were separated from the rest of their unit and escaped the enemy via a tunnel that drew water from Lake Inawashiro to Aizu. They emerged on Moriyama and took refuge at a spot where they had a view of the city. From this vantage point, they saw what they thought was the castle on fire, a sure sign that the war had been lost. Driven by a strict code of honour and duty, they responded with what they had been taught was the only honourable path and took their own lives. A woman who happened to be walking through the hills came across them and was able to save one of the boys. He went on to become a telegraph engineer and played a vital role in establishing nationwide telephone networks. Later in life, he shared the story of his fellow samurai. The story of the Byakutai resonated deeply with the people of Aizu, symbolizing loyalty and unwavering strength. The area atop Moriyama became a sacred space where people could pay their respects and remember these young men who were prepared to sacrifice their lives for honor. 2 large monuments, gifts from Italy and Germany, honoring their sacrifice, can also be seen here. The dense forest surrounding the area, with its ancient trees providing shade to smaller plants, exudes a serene and solemn atmosphere, inviting reflection and contemplation. Located nearby, Sazaedo Temple is another remarkable destination. This wooden structure, constructed in 1796, takes its name from the turban shell, Sazae. Its interior features a unique double helix ramp, so visitors ascending to offer prayers do not cross paths with those descending. Sazaedo Temple is the only known temple of its kind in Japan, making it a truly distinctive sight. Once again, we were kindly asked to not take pictures or videos inside the temple as a sign of respect for its sacred nature. The surrounding area offers breathtaking views, including the Tonoguchi-Uya Cave, built between 1623 and 1641. This very spot served as the escape route for the young samurai. The sound of rushing water exiting the cave mixed with birdsong and the wind in the trees creates a feeling of peace that could have me enjoying it for hours. After a long but enjoyable day in Aizu, we started back towards Minamisoma, with a well-earned stop for sushi on the way home. Join us again as we continue to learn about life in Fukushima Prefecture, uncovering more hidden gems and fascinating stories along the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mandy Loves Japan to stay up to date on our Japanese adventures. Thank you for watching. Ja ne!